Did very, very little work on the farm for 10 months while I was in charge of this. Yeah, I was certainly heavily involved, and I guess that's why I've carried on wanting to make sure it was a success with the kids playing the sports.
Make it a nice right-hand drag and pass, okay?
Our numbers have grown 100% since this turf with the junior age group kids. That gives me quite a buzz to see those numbers grow.
That's all it needs. Go. Don't worry about hitting me.
Yeah, dude! Right.
If an Aucklander's in your road, you wouldn't stop, would you? So just keep hitting it. Looking. Being competitive, I've always enjoyed playing it myself, and yeah, try and leave everything out on the field, and that's sort of the great thing about these sort of age group of kids. You know, you're just not teaching them hockey skills, but a little bit of life skills probably too.
Vince Ainsley's won a community award for his commitment to hockey. And for his farm work, he's won a Balance Environmental Award.
There's quite a substantial bit of native bush in the Hokanui Hills, and we own a wee proportion of it. There'll be close on 300 hectares in this sort of one parcel. It's sort of about 240. There's 2 or 3 other blocks that are also nice native bush that are all fenced off. So it makes up quite a proportion of the farm. That's nearly 30% of the land area that we've got. My father loved the bush and invested a lot of money in it. So the majority of the bush was fenced off. When I took the farm over, there was wee pockets like this one here, which we've had to fence off, but yeah, he certainly had a passion for sort of trying to fence off and preserve the bush, which, I guess is installed in us as kids as well. There's the different colours, like in the spring, sort of, you're starting to sort of see, and late summer it can glow red with the rata, and it's just the natural sort of the birds, the sound of it when you're working around it. It's just nice to be able to sort of sit there and watch the bush. I like having that bush around the farm for sure. We haven't put any covenants or anything on it, it's just protected by our own family. And I guess I hold a little bit of pride in that. Like, people have tried to talk me into putting covenants on it, but I believe as a family we're as good a covenant as anything. We'll preserve it for as long as we're part of the farm. And I'll install that in my children as well.
Well, I go, girl! Well, I go, girl! Well, I go!
The Ainsleys have farmed Bushy Park as a family for more than 40 years, and they're planning to keep it that way.
We've certainly been through hard years. Like, we had to borrow a lot of money to pay my own brothers and sisters out, and that was the way Mum and Dad wanted it, and that's fine. But from my point of view, it put a lot of pressure on myself and a lot of pressure on the family, and that's certainly something I don't want for my own kids. We've put together a succession plan already for our family, and it's not about trying to burden the child that wants to, if one of them does choose to come back on the farm, you can't actually put a value on the farm. So I'm more worried about a quality of life for all my 4 kids than a quality of money or fairness of money, how much they get. When it comes to our succession plan, we'll be doing it based on gross farm income over a 25-year period. So rather than the bank winning out of it by having to borrow a lot of money to pay the other ones out, all of them will get payments over 25 years. And it's not a handout, but more of a hand up to help them create their own little nest egg in life.
And for Bella Ainsley, who came here 15 years ago as a tourist, life in her new homeland couldn't be better.
What I love most of being here in New Zealand and living on this farm is just the scenery. It's just like the view that I have every day out of my living room is just to die for. It's just amazing. And to have my horse on my own farm, that's what I always dreamt of as a little girl, to have my horse at home. It's just, fantastic.
I'm very, very lucky, and our kids are very lucky as well. I think as a family we have a good balance between work and fun off the farm. That's a big thing, I guess, with any life. We're not just working here 7 days a week. For sure, sometimes we have to, but I think we have a good work, life balance.
Next time,
retirement doesn't come into our vocabulary.
an unusual crop has led them to a new venture, making dog biscuits.
We've baked hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of recipes.
John has no cooking skills at all. And is known for no cooking skills.
And the family are very quick to remind me of that too.
Cherries on top, next time on Hyundai Country Calendar.
Country Calendar is brought to you by Hyundai New Zealand.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.